On this episode, 3 more does hit the ground for the outdoorsman team, and man, what a bloodbath it was. We killed 3 does in 3 days out at this new property we're calling Cattle Ridge, and actually 2 of them were done in the exact same morning on the exact same set. Tyler and I doubled up. It was unbelievable. So guys, stay tuned, and we hope you enjoy. Well, what a start we've had to this season. I mean, it's been insane so far. I got out and actually harvested the first deer for the TO crew. Got to really put that Pro Defiant to the test and shot one out at 52 yards. That's the farthest I've ever shot a deer. And I'm trying to get better at distance, and that was a great way to practice. Definitely accomplished that. And then a week later, Grandpa got out and actually harvested his buck for the season, and it was insane. Went out hunting on a new property we're calling Cattle Ridge, put an excellent shot on that deer, made for a really good episode. But on that note, we're talking about Cattle Ridge. This episode had to do with that property. Tyler and I actually got out and took 3 does off that property in 3 days. 2 of them were done in the exact same set, exact same morning. Insane. Never done that before, and Tyler had actually never shot a deer on the ground before, so a lot of things were accomplished that morning. Let's get into why we went out there and actually harvested 3 does, because one of the biggest things being a hunter and being an outdoorsman is I'm not going to pull the trigger on that animal unless I have a purpose, unless there is a reason behind me having to take that animal's life. And out at the Cattle Ridge farm, we actually, with the friendship growing with the property owner, him and his son are actually going to be joining us and start to film within the next couple years, and he wants our help to basically turn that property into a whitetail management property where there's big bucks, good numbers, good food sources. And right now we're writing a game plan out, but one thing we can do for that property is start to piece together a population record and figure out doe management wise what we need to do, if anything. And there definitely needs to be some doe management done. Actually, his goal is to try and harvest a couple more off that property as well. A lot of reasons. One, just the deer number out there is super high. When you have a high deer number, food sources really start to diminish a lot quicker. So when we get into later parts of the year and they need these nutrients, the proteins, they're not getting it because there's so many deer killing it in the early season. So doe numbers are definitely high out there. That's one of the reasons why Kentucky actually amped up their amount of deer harvests in the zone 1 that we're actually hunting, was because of population being so high. So we're definitely putting those tags to work out at that property. And another thing that goes into why we picked does is you can just tell from us driving around out there, from running cameras, that the doe to buck ratio is so bad. I generally like to see a 2 to 3 doe per buck, and right now it's like 4 to 5 to maybe even 6 to a buck, which is really bad. You don't want to see that. When you get into the rut, generally the bucks will always be locked down then. They won't be receptive to your calling. It just makes for a really hard rut hunt. And if you guys like to see the bucks fighting and really working for those does, lower those doe numbers. And it kind of worked out in our favor, because where the numbers are high there, it actually ended up being majority of the does. So that's what we're working on harvesting. And that's basically what happened to this episode. I got out one day by myself, killed one, and then a day later Tyler and I got out there and harvested 2 together. Made for a pretty cool episode. But with it being October now, it's going to get busy. I've got tournaments this year in October. We have a lot of hunts planned. There's probably going to be a buck or 2 killed in October. So there's going to be a lot of editing, a lot going on, and I just didn't want to get stuck worrying about a doe episode. So I tried a new style of editing for this hunting episode, something I generally do for the bass fishing episode. So if you guys like how this was edited, please give it a thumbs up. It definitely won't be something we do for every episode, because a lot of times this is serious for us, and I like to put that dramatic twist and music to that video. But we tried something new to see if you guys would like it. If you do, give it a thumbs up. Leave some comments. We're doing our best to answer all these comments that you guys are leaving, and we absolutely love it. I know 2 of the most common comments that we've been getting have been, 1, what is the cameras that we're using, and then 2, they're asking about our setup. So we're definitely going to get some of that out to you guys. The camera one probably won't come till later this year, but the setup episode. Tyler and I are going to get together and do individual episodes talking about our setups because I love talking about my bow. But guys, stay tuned. Hope you enjoy. Look at that. Just, I mean, soaked. Tip to tip. Can't beat it, man. All right, guys. Well, here it is, September 29th. And Tyler and I came out here and achieved what we were going for, and that was to double up this morning. The property out here, we call it Cattle Ridge. This is a new property that I acquired this year for my grandfather and my dad to hunt. But after the friendship kind of grew and talking with the landowner, he's definitely trying to turn this place into a whitetail management property to hunt in the future when he retires. And one of the biggest things that we noticed coming out here and scouting is how bad the doe numbers are out here. I mean, it's everywhere, all up and down this road, as well as on this property. And when we put trail cameras out, that even proved it even more. And came out here a couple days ago, made a marginal shot on a doe, recovered her after about 35 yards though. And then Tyler and I were free today, and we came out here with this cooler weather that we've been having and doubled up on 2. I mean, it was awesome. The set was a little tight, but I think we made it work.
Yeah, we made it work. Everything was good. I was tagged out and done by 7:30.
Traded over and by 8:15,
swapped
8:20.
seats. And it was
second one came in, she was off to the right, she was blowing, she was getting ready to go. When she lifted up that leg and just tucked it right there behind the shoulder, and we actually heard her go down on camera as to where Tyler's doe hit double lung. It was a good shot, but because it was so high, it took the lungs a little bit to fill up.
She went about 60 to 65.
Wind today was
swirling.
Yeah, back and forth. It was blowing into the right to the bedroom, and it was blowing to the left, wrapping around that hill to the other bedroom. That was really never in our favor, but that carbon skin scent killer that we're using this year, it is absolutely phenomenal. We just got it in a couple weeks ago. I was able to try it out the other day with the doe I killed, and we tried it out today, and it most certainly worked.
Also the wind checker as well.
Oh yeah, that was perfect.
We got in at dark. It was completely pitch black, and they have a wind checker that actually glows in the dark. So the powder glows in the dark. So I mean, it was pitch black. I hit that wind checker, and I mean, you could see it clear as day, pitch dark. So that was really awesome.
I think another thing that goes into the success that we had this morning was how the bow stands work.
Yeah.
In the past, when you use those little kick stands, it's such a cluster. Getting in there, taking the stands off, then your cam's in the mud. You got to worry about keeping the cam clean.
Yep.
These stands keep them out of the mud, keep them easy to access. There's no noise when you take them out of the stand, and we were able to have both of our bows in the ground line, 2 chairs, tripod, camera, no issues whatsoever. And the doe that I ended up shooting, she was blowing, and I don't think that was from us. There was a squirrel dropping chestnuts and whatnot over to the right, and then the fact that I think she heard what had happened about 30 minutes before. She was just a little nervous, but she came in, presented herself about 20 yards, and I drilled her and Tyler drilled his. Track job was cake work. The Rage did it again. That's about it.
Yep.
Starting off the doe management right, and now it's time to start focusing on the bucks as we're getting into the cooler weather. We're getting close to October. Now that's the next goal that we're after. Guys, we hope you enjoyed this episode. Be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and then check us out on social media. I got all the social media links below, as well as all the equipment that we used in this hunt linked below. Be sure to check that out, and we'll catch you guys later on the next episode of The Outdoors.